So first we're going to be discussing about the different levels of proficiency. And I've been analyzing and reading a lot about the mechanics and explanations that the different levels of proficiency carries. And then another aspect, I've been asking a lot of deaf people and interpreters what their meaning of proficiency is. And they often respond that they're supposed to be native-like signers. Okay, and so even if they're going to be fluent in reading and writing comprehension, it's interesting that they think that their proficiency level is going to be matching our expectations as interpreters. Their proficiency level expectations are high, but the reality is they don't match our higher expectations of how an interpreter should look like. And it's not that we're trying to be negative, but it's just the reality of it. And often interpreters fall in between these two parts. And more often people are contacting interpreters not face-to-face or in person or even in the flesh, but through VRS. And whenever I see an interpreter, I often wonder, I get perplexed and wonder, is that my language? Is that ASL? And I have the right to change interpreters, but sometimes people are just so soft-hearted they don't have the will to change interpreters to not make them feel bad. And it's interesting to notice that because whenever you see an interpreter not matching our high expectations, the consumer will often alter their signing style to be able to work with them, and that's a struggle that I'm trying to relate to y'all about the different levels of proficiency. They don't match our expectations. Now we're going to be discussing about school experience. And this is also a fascinating topic, and I've been reading and discussing this with many people. Deaf people often grow up, and it doesn't matter in what style, even if it's oral education or C, total communication or simultaneous communication, which is going to be in their philosophy, or even SimCom, Rochester method, doesn't matter what language. Still, deaf children internalize their language in relation to educational background and in other forms of matter in language. It is their internal language.